Hello, I'm so glad you can join me today. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today, I am making lunch cakes. Yes, lunch cake. Aisha asked me to make lunch cakes, so lunch cakes it is. If you live in Barbados, or if you grew up in Barbados, one of the things that used to be served in schools is lunch cakes. I don't know if they still serve lunch cakes in school today, but I know these are something that they served in school years ago. So today, come along with me and I will show you how I make my lunch cake. First, we're gonna start with, I have here 1.5 cups of sugar. I'm gonna put in a bowl, and as I go along and use the ingredients, I will tell you what the ingredients are. So first we're gonna start with 1.5 cups of sugar, and here I have 1 cup of butter. I'm gonna put this in here, and what I'm gonna do is I am just going to get my mixer and I'm gonna mix this until it's nice and fluffy. So it could take about 5 minutes or it could take a little bit longer, depends on how you mix it. And make sure that the sugar is well beaten with the butter. In here I have 2.5 cups of flour that's already sieved here, and to that I'm going to add a tablespoon of baking powder. I'm going to add it to my flour and mix it up. 1 tablespoon. Combine it in here. I'm also gonna add to my flour right here 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of salt. Put that in there. I'm also gonna add some here. I have some allspice, and I'm gonna add some allspice to that. I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon as well. And that is for my dry ingredients for now. I'm gonna just combine this a little bit right here. Everything together, so it will go throughout and not just settle in one area. I'm just gonna set that aside, my dry ingredients. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend my butter and sugar. Over here, over here I have my mixer. So I'm just gonna mix this until it becomes nice and fluffy. Okay guys, so now I have 4 eggs that I'm going to break and put in this bowl here. But before I put my eggs in, I want to put a piece of lemon skin in there so I can beat this with my eggs. The purpose for the lemon skin is, you know, sometimes eggs have that raw smell. Well, this is going to get rid of that. So put a piece of lemon skin in there, guys. And then I have my 4 eggs. I'm gonna break my 4 eggs in here. Guys, I do not remember getting this in the classroom, but I know some of my friends do. All I remember getting is the milk and those like 4 biscuits that I used to get. I used to get milk or 4 biscuits, and it was like the milk powder, and they would make the milk with it. And then when you go on vacation, like this is vacation time for the kids, they would give you in a little plastic bag. They would put some of the powdered milk in that plastic bag, and you would eat that on the way home, because that used to be so good, just eating just the powder like that. So by the time you get home, it's like you got powder all over your face or your school uniform and everything, and you're eating like that powdered milk. You used to be so excited to get that at the end of the school year. And you'd be eating that powder. It used to taste good. It used to taste good, that powdered milk. You get some biscuits. But Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to beat my eggs and my lemon together, but I'm going to pour in here 1 teaspoon of this vanilla essence. I'm going to tell you right now, I just bought this vanilla essence recently. It does not taste like vanilla. I mean, I don't get the vanilla flavor. I'm going to put 2 just because this one doesn't really have the flavor. I have to make my own vanilla. I will be making vanilla coming up. And this is almond. I'm just gonna put a little bit of almond in here. This almond flavor is not very strong either, but I'm gonna put half a teaspoon in here just to give it a little flavor, Okay, so I'm gonna beat this up. That long. And now I am going to slowly add this egg to this mix right here. Slowly add some of this egg. I'm going to add the skin and everything. I will take it out eventually. But I just want to stay there for a little bit. And then we're just going to continue scraping from around the rib. So now I'm going to take the lemon skin out of there. Just needed a lemon skin just for it to do its job. To cut the rawness of the eggs. So take that out and we'll discard this. We don't need that anymore. So now what I'm going to start doing, guys, is adding a little bit of my flour at a time right here. I'll add a little bit at a time. And out of the way so you can see. Put this in. I have here 1 cup of milk, and I add actually this is half a cup of evaporated milk and half a cup of water. I like to add water to the milk because sometimes, you know, you make the cake and you leave it out, and when you break it, it like pulling on the inside from all that milk. So I use half a cup of water and half a cup of milk. So just pour a little bit in there. We're gonna put a little more flour in. We're making lunch cakes, guys. Baking lunch cakes. We're gonna also make an icing to go on this lunch cake. Now I have a video up there that have icing on it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and make it again so you get to see it again. And we are going to ice this cake. Yes, because we're making lunch cake. My girlfriend said, don't you remember that pink icing that used to get on top? She said, I remember that pink icing. I was like, I don't remember. Listen, I went to South District Girls School. I don't remember lunch cake. They probably serve it. I just don't remember it because that was like umpteen years ago. But my sister, who was older than me, she went to Spring Memorial School and she remembered the icing. She said they served it with a pink icing there. So I guess they served it at Springer, but it just didn't serve it at South District Girls. That's where I went. They didn't serve it there because I would remember. I like cake. All right. So I'm going to add a little more milk and a little more flour. When my grandmother baked cake like this, when the cake was finished, I remember First thing is, we used to bake, my grandma used to bake cakes around the holidays. So it's not like every week or every so often you get a piece of cake. So when you get cake, you were excited because you get it around the holidays. But because she would be baking black cake, pound cake, which we used to call pudding, and sweet bread. So when she's baking this, we had to, like, you know, and stir this and beat this sugar and stuff. It used to take forever. Your hands are tired, and she would come and test the grains and say, you gotta beat it some more. So you would hit it. But when she finished and she put everything together, the bowl, the leftover bowl, my sister and I was, we used to just kind of take our finger and just rake that out, right? Remember that, guys? And just eat all of that was left in the bowl. Now, when my kids were little, I was like, Mommy, can I have the bowl to lick? I was like, nope. Because back then, we didn't have to worry about salmonella in the eggs. Because everybody grew, we had chickens in the backyard, get your own eggs. Now you have to worry about salmonella. So I tell my kids, nope, you can't lick it. They want to lick it. I said, nope, you can't have it. All right, let me finish up. I think I'm talking too much. All right, guys. So now you can get your pan. And this is a square pan because the lunch cakes are square. So I want to have square cake. So I'm going to take some butter and just butter my pan here. Oops. I'm going to pour some flour in here. And shake this all around. Shake it, 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 shake it all around. And we dust it out. My oven is set at 350. So I'm gonna put this in here. This should take maybe 25 minutes or so. What I'll do is I'll time it, and when I come back I'll tell you exactly how long it took in the oven. But right now, let me just put this in here. So I'm gonna pour this in here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven, and I will be back as soon as it is all done. I left it in there for 30 minutes. I checked it. It was still wet on the inside, and it started to brown a little bit. So I turned the stove down to 225, and I left it in there for another 20 minutes so that it can finish cooking on the inside. I tested it again, and the knife came out clean. So it is all done, but it's of course very hot. Okay. Ooh. Got a little bit too dark, but it's good. Got just kind of cut off that bottom there. Got a little bit too dark. All right, guys. I took this out of the pan so that it would cool a little faster. So I'm gonna set this aside for a while. I'm using 1 cup of butter. Guys, so I have my butter, a cup of butter in here, and I'm gonna heat this butter. Beat your butter well, scrape around the sides, and add a pinch of salt to it. The next thing we're gonna do to that is add 1 cup of confectionate sugar. So just add 1 cup of this in there. I'm going to add to that 1 tablespoon of evaporated milk. And I will be adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. And then I will beat this some more. I was supposed to sieve this. I was supposed to sieve this sugar. I forgot to sieve it. Let me just heat it up. Okay. So now this time I'm gonna make sure I sieved the other cup of sugar. See why it's important to sieve it, guys? I forgot just now. For the balance of my milk. So all of this is 2 tablespoons of milk all together. And I am going to add here another teaspoon of this vanilla extract. And I will continue to whisk this. So I'm adding 1 more tablespoon of milk because I want it to be light, and it's not light enough. It's a little bit thick to me. So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of evaporated milk, another tablespoon, and I will continue to beat this until it is nice and light and fluffy. Okay guys, so this is what we're looking for, a nice fluffy icing. So this is what we're gonna use to ice. Now, remember, they have pink icing, so I have to make my icing pink. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. That's your icing, looks good. Let me taste it. Delicious. Now I'm going to put some food coloring in there to give it that pink color. Okay guys, so this is a pink icing right here that we're gonna put on our cake as soon as it cools. So I'll set this aside until the cake cool, and then I will ice this. Then I would ice the cake so you would see what it. I left the cake in for 50 minutes, and I think that was a little bit too long, and it got a little bit dark to the bottom, so I just cut off the bottom part, and it tastes good. But so what I'm gonna do right now is I have my icing here, and I'm gonna take the icing, and you take like a whole big set of icing and you just put on the top. Cause we're just gonna ice the top. We're not icing the bottom or the sides. Just that pink icing on the top. See, it's just the right amount, and then you're gonna smooth it out a little bit. Not quite finished yet. We still have to make it in squares. Remember the lunch cake were squares, so now we have to make it in squares. So I think this is about a good square here. And then I'm going to cut it again here. Okay, now we're going to cut it this way. And cut it again here. And guys, this is your lunch cake, okay? So now let me take a piece. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of it out. Look at that. Look at that. That's your Belgian lunch cake. And guys, this is your lunch cake that was served. Probably, of course, the pieces probably wasn't this big because you were young. But, and that's your Belgian lunch cakes. I will try a piece for you. So our lunch cake is done. They look delicious, so I want to taste them for you and see. So let me taste it for you. See, it is nice and it's moist. Taste it with you. It is nice and it is moist. It's just the right amount of sugar. Guys, it tastes really good. You see, I didn't used to get cake at school because I would remember, because cake is good and I like sweet stuff. And guys, let me show you one more thing. When you make your cakes here, you make all this cake. What are you going to do with all this cake? You don't want to sit and eat all this cake at one time. So what you do is, I had some plastic saran wrap and I wrap each cake in each piece individually. So what I'm going to do is put all of them here in this Ziploc bag. Just like this, guys. And this is gonna go, I'll leave a couple pieces out that I could have maybe during the week, and the rest of this is gonna go in the freezer. And guys, you have them individually, so whenever you're in the mood for a lunch cake, just take one down, bring it to room temperature, you can have a piece of cake. Okay, so that way these are not going to waste. You don't want to leave them out and it go to waste, because there's a lot of money making your flour, your sugar, all that stuff. You don't want it to go to waste. So wrap them individually, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer, and just leave out a piece that you can have for dessert. Guys, I hope you can make some lunch cake for your family. I had fun making these, and I hope you have fun making some for your family. Don't forget to like. Don't forget, if you like the video, enjoy the video, guys, just give it a thumbs up so I would know that you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video with your friends. If you know someone that would like to learn how to make cake, just share the video. Okay, and hit that bell icon. Until next time, bye bye.